Hello guys and welcome to Laravel 7 tutorials. So guys, in the previous video we successfully implemented the awaiting approval block functionality and we have tested this functionality and it is working perfectly fine. I just want to let you know guys that in my introductory video I already told you that we are going to implement some more functionality which are not right here. Okay, so this is one of them and this is very important functionality. As you can see, like a user or an admin can get the idea of let's say which of the specific blogs requires admin approval. Okay, so this is an important functionality, and guys, in this specific video we are going to implement something similar like this, like the awaiting blogs, but this time we are going to implement the approved blogs, so that let's say if a user wants to see the specific blogs that are approved by the admin and that are related to that specific user, whoever is logged in right here, he can see a list of the approved blogs as well right here. Okay, so let's start. And first of all, for the approved blog functionality we are going to implement a link right here. So let's start, and for that I will access my Sublime and I need to open my project, open folder, okay, and htdocs blogging right here. That's it. Let's close this blog project that was related to Urdu lectures. Okay, so first of all I will move to resources, views, user panel, layout, sidebar. Let's move down and I'm going to copy this from right here from li to hr. Let's copy this and I'm going to paste it right below here. Okay, that's it. Now let's change it to, let's say, approved blogs. Okay, and let's change this route because in this case we are going to use another specific URL. So let's create that and let's say we can name it approved user, or let's say approved blogs. That's fine. Okay, now in order to change this icon, because we are using this FA user clock for the awaiting blogs, we can simply use the check one so that we can get the idea that these are different icons and this check is related to something approved. Okay, so let's see this in action and let's move to Google right here and I'm going to refresh. Okay, so now we have successfully implemented the link. Now let's say if I am going to click this one, we are going to see 404. Why? Because this URL right here doesn't exist. So let's create that. Okay, so for that I will move to web.php and let's move down right here. Okay, right here I'm going to create a new route get, let's say, user / approved blogs. Okay, once again we are going to hit the block controller and we are going to create a method that, let's say, the name would be approved blogs. Yeah, we can keep that. Okay, so that's fine. Now let's move to block controller and let's create this specific method, or let's say we can name it to approved, or let's say user approved blogs. User approved blogs. That's fine. Okay, let's move to block controller and let's move down and let's create that specific method. So return approved blogs view / plate. Okay, let's create a method, public function user approved blogs. Okay, now in order to return a view we just need to create one because we don't have any in this case. So for that what I'm going to do is because these two functionalities are similar and the only difference between these two is the query difference. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move to Sublime, I'm going to open this awaiting blade, I'm going to copy everything from right here, I'm going to close it and let's create a new file in this user panel. New file, paste everything and let's say save it as approved blogs.blade.php. That's fine. Now let's make some changes. Let's change the title first of all, approved blogs. Now let's move right here. I'm going to copy this because we need to paste it right here as well and here as well. Okay, now let's change the ID of this table right here. This table we are going to use it to create the data tables. Okay, just want to let you know. So let's name it approved. Okay, and we can change this JS once we can view our view. So let's do that. Now our view is ready, as you can see. Now let's call this view return view, and view name would be from the user panel. I want, let's say like this, user panel dot, and the view name is approved blogs. Okay, yeah. Now let's do a refresh right here. Now let's try to access this approved blogs blade. Okay, so I think I made a mistake. Yeah, right here. Okay, now let's do a refresh and everything is working perfectly fine. Now in order to see some result, we need to change this JS. Okay, because we are still hitting this user awaiting.js, and let me show you this JS file as well, because right there we are creating the data tables with the help of ID awaiting, and we don't have awaiting ID right here. So in that case we need to create a new JS with a new ID. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this once again. I'm going to copy everything, as I've told you that this functionality is exactly the same, but the only difference is the query. So copy everything, close it, and let's create a new file. Let's paste everything and let's name it, let's say user approved blogs.js. That's it, guys. Okay, now let's change it right here as well, user approved blogs.js. That's it. Okay, now let's make some changes right here as well, and this time we are using the ID of approved. Okay, right here, this one. Let's move forward, and in this case we need to create a new route or URL. So let's create one, and in this case we are going to name it like, let's say get, or let's say, yeah, get approved, or let's say get user approved blogs. This makes sense. Okay, and everything remains the same. Yeah, everything is working like everything seems fine right here. So let's move on, and this time we need to create another route with the name just like this. So I'm going to copy this, I'm going to move here, and just below this view I'm going to create a new route with the help of post, and this time once again we are going to hit the same block controller with a different method, and the name would be, let's say, get user approved blogs. Okay, okay, so this makes sense till right now. Now we need to create this method inside block controller. So let's move to block controller and public function, and just like that. Exactly. Okay, now let's put a comment right here, get user approved blogs. That's it, guys. Okay, okay, now we can simply use this everything from this method right here, and we can simply make some changes with the query. That's it. Okay, so let's save some time, and I'm going to copy everything from get awaiting user blogs. I'm going to copy everything, sorry guys. Okay, let's paste it and let's align this. Yeah, exactly like that. Okay, so everything looks fine, and now what we need to do is let's discuss this case once again. Let's say a user is trying to, okay, so first of all let's fix this. Okay, right here. Okay, let's move, refresh. Now when a user tries to log in, he is going to move to, let's say, approved blogs, so that in order to he or she can see his approved blogs. Right here you can see we are still getting the awaiting approval. Why? Because of our query right here. See this. So the only difference is going to be we need to get the authenticated or the logged in or the user ID which is saved in the session. For right now we are going to get it, okay, and based on that specific ID we are going to make implementer query blog where user ID is the logged in user ID or the authenticated user ID and where active is 1. That's it, guys. Okay, so that's the only difference, and let's do a refresh. And now you can see the status is approved, and this time we are only getting the records which are approved by the admin, created by the user and approved by the admin. Now let's I just want to show you something else as well. Right here, guys, let's move up right here. Let's say if we don't want to use this order by ID descending, let's see what happens right here. Okay, so we are using order by ID descending right here as well. And to explain this example, first I need to create another record as well. So for that, let's move to create blog, and I'm going to just create a testing blog with something like this. Okay, because anyway we are going to delete all these blogs because I want to discuss some like errors that we still have in our blogging system. These are not error, but I just wanted to let you know that how can you fix your code. Okay, so we have still a lot of work to do. So let's just create it, guys. Okay, so the blog is created successfully. Let's move to awaiting approval. Okay, right here you can see. Now for this, let's say if a user created a specific blog, which I did right here. Okay, now I want to, let's say, edit this blog. I can simply do that. Okay, update. So I hope there is no confusion. Okay, so the blog is updated right here, you can see. Now let's move to the admin dashboard, from where we can approve this blog. Awaiting approval, and right here you can see the latest blog. Okay, so let's say I want to publish this. Yeah, everything seems fine, etc, etc, and I'm going to update. Okay, so the blog is approved and we are not able to see this right here anymore, but you can see it right here. Okay, this one. Now let's move to the user dashboard once again, and let's click this approve blogs. Now we can see that still after removing, or no, we didn't remove it. So first of all, you can see the orders is in the order right here is in the descending order with respect to ID. Why? Because we implemented order by ID descending. Let's remove this. Okay, and still we are going to see everything just like that. See, so why is it happening? Let's say, I just wanted to tell you guys, let's say if in any case you don't want to use order by ID or order by ID ascending or descending, something like that, if you don't want to use it right here, or you don't want to change this order by right here, what you can do is you can make the order with respect to your JS file as well. Like we can define our order in the JS file as well. Right here you can see. So what we are doing in this case, we are creating a data table out of this, okay, ID, using the ID. And once the data table is completed and we are getting all the records right here, what I'm doing right here is I'm defining, I want the order to be with respect to the 0 column, which is right here, once again the ID. Okay, just keep that in mind. With respect to 0 column, which is ID, and I want it to be in the descending order. So that's why we are able to see it in the chronological order or the descending order with respect to ID. So let's say if you want to assign it an ascending order, you can simply do that. Let's do a refresh. And right here everything is working like a charm. So that's what I wanted to discuss, and I hope you got my point. Okay guys, so now right here on this approved blogs, let's discuss this case once again so that there is no confusion left. Let's say I'm a normal user, I created a specific blog. Okay, then that specific blog moved to right here, awaiting approval. Right here until here user can edit her own blog. Okay, once the blog is approved by the admin from right here, okay, we are going to see it right here in the approved blogs column. Okay, and right here I don't want to give the access of edit to this specific user, because she can do anything with this specific blog, like spam, nudity, etc, etc. So I just don't want to give this edit functionality right here, because the blog is approved and it is published and it's on front end. Let me show you. Okay, see, so a user can make any sort of changes, and these changes will be visible right here. So I am going to remove this edit functionality as discussed in the previous video. So for that, let's move to our user approved blogs.js, and I am going to remove this edit link from right here. Okay, that's it. And one more thing, we need to remove it from right here as well. Guys, just want to let you know that this action and action 1, these were the replica of the delete and the edit column right here. Okay, so in this case I have removed the edit. So what I can do is I can simply remove any of these, okay, because these are the supplementary or the temporary name for the edit and delete. Okay, so it isn't going to affect our changes right here. I can simply remove this one as well. Now this action will refer to this one. Okay, just keep that in mind. Now since we deleted our column that had an ID of 7, we need to define it 7. Okay, so everything is in order: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so that's it, guys. Sorry, let me zoom out a bit. Yeah, now let's move to blade. Sorry, this is the blade, and I'm going to remove it from right here as well. That's it, guys. Okay guys, so now we can see that we don't have edit functionality right here. So the only option after the blog is approved for the user is to delete a blog, or let's say an admin can also delete approved blog from right here. Okay, so everything is working perfectly fine. Now let's say the edit is also working perfectly fine. I know it. Why? Because we are using the same route that we implemented in the previous videos. See, so let's see and let's delete this specific record that I just created. So I'm just going to delete. Yes, delete it. Success, blog deleted successfully. Refresh, and it's not right here, it's not right here, it's not right here. See, let's click this. Okay, so these were the errors, guys, which I was talking about, that we need to remove it. Okay, so this record does not exist. If I'm going to refresh, you can see the record is removed. Okay, let's move forward, guys, and yeah, that's it from this video. Okay, one more thing, let's do a refresh right here as well. Okay, so the record is gone, everything is working perfectly fine. Now one last thing I want to tell you, that let's say if you, in any case, you want to create the approved blogs functionality right here as well, or the link right here as well, you can do it on your own. I am not going to do it. Why? Because we have a complete blog list right here, and let's say if I want to search for the awaiting approval blog, I can simply type awaiting. That's it, guys. Okay, so we don't need a separate link right here, because we have a lot of things to do for this sidebar as well. Okay, so yeah, I'm not going to do that. If you want to, you can create a link and get the get all the list of the approved blogs as well. Okay guys, so yeah, that's it from this video, guys. And one last thing, that would be, let's get the username right here, because I know you guys got confused sometimes. Even I do, because we are seeing the same hard-coded name right here, and let's change it so that we can see the logged in username. So for that, I will move to Sublime. First of all, I'm going to close this. Let's close this. And everything is fine, guys. If you see any sort of error, you can tell me and we will discuss it. Okay, and we can change it at any time. Okay guys, so layout, and let's move to top bar. So I am in the resources, views, user panel, and layout, top bar, and right here. So let's get the authenticated or the logged in username using auth auth user name. That's it. And let's say if in any case we are going to get nothing, we are going to see some sort of error. So to avoid that specific error, we can simply do this. But in any case, we don't need this. Why? Because let me show you the routes. Web.php. Let's say if a user is not logged in, we are not going to access any of these route, guys. Okay, just keep that in mind. So if you want to, you can remove this piece of code right here. Okay, but in any case, let's keep it and let's do a refresh right here so that we are able to see a logged in username. So right here I can see the test, which is the logged in username in this case. Now we need to do the same thing for the admin dashboard as well. So let's do that, and for that let's close everything again, and I will move to backend, layout, top bar, and let's do the same thing right here. Auth user ID, sorry, not ID, name. If we have nothing, print nothing. Okay, and you can type something demo etc as well. Okay, just keep that in mind. So that's it. Let's view it on the Firefox, because this is the admin user. Right here you can see my name. So guys, everything is working perfectly fine, and I know we guys saw some sort of issue. Why? Because guys, that specific record was removed, and that was like not in the database. That's why we got an error, like we are trying to get an ID which does not exist. Okay, I know about all these issues, and in the later videos we are going to solve each and every of them. Okay, so that's it guys from this video, and I hope you guys like this video. If you liked it, so please like, subscribe, share, and yes guys, thank you, take care, and yes guys, be ready. Okay, take care, see you.